What the heck is a DC-4 doing flying around Back Bay? Well, let's get into it. This is season 2, episode 38 of PlaneSavers. Well, folks, that's here. Let me get better in the sun. The DC-4 isn't flying around. Actually, during one of the live streams, a viewer asks if I had any behind-the-scenes footage of ice pilots, and that DC-4 was some stuff that we were doing. And I was filming while they were filming, so that's some behind-the-scenes stuff. But it is not totally clickbait, because I'm going to raise a very important question today. We have DC-4s that are not flying. It's 40 below here in Yellowknife. It is, you know, burning up in Australia. How come we don't take our DC-4s to Australia? This aircraft right here is a Baron Bird Dog, the Bird Dog aircraft for the DC-4s. This aircraft, the DC-4s, which is mainly in Hay River right now, can be equipped and ready to go to Australia. You know, we call ourselves plane savers and we think about saving planes, but maybe there's a bigger cause. Maybe plane savers can kick it up a notch. So think of that for a second, folks. A DC-4 tanked up, ready to go. We fly that sucker to Australia. We're going to explore those questions today in today's special episode of PlaneSavers. Should we get a DC-4? Get it ready? Go to Australia? What do you think? Okay, so it's just about lunchtime still. Is eating lunch, but I also set up an explainer. Look at this. Look what I got set up here. Because the number one question I'll get is, not only do we have DC-4s, what other firefighting aircraft do we have? So I'm going to explain it to you right now. Check this out. Okay, everybody, let's start off with the big boy, the Lockheed Electra, the L-188. We actually have 2 of these that are already under contract with the local government here, the government of the Northwest Territories, but we also have 2 that could be made available if needed. The other airplane that is under contract is the AT-802F, the air tractor, single seat with floats on it. Unfortunately, it is actually owned by the GNWT. We just lease it and won the contract for operating and maintenance. So that is a no-go if we needed to go to Australia. The government itself can choose to go to Australia and we would go, but for this diagram, we're going to talk about Buffalo Airways. Let's move over to one of my favorite, the CL-215, the water bombers, the Ducks, Canadair, Bombardier, and even now it's Voyager, so it's got a lot of step parents. But the CL-215, we actually have 4 CL-215s, 2 from the Newfoundland government, 1 that we just bought off Manitoba, and of course NCS that we bought off eBay, if you're an old school Ice Pilots fan. The CL-215 at first glance might not be very good for Australia because there's not that much water, but Australia does have lots of coastline. As you can see, here's little Tassie, you know, Melbourne and Sydney over here, and of course New Zealand. So it can actually fight fire on the coastlines very, very well. Australia is, of course, a big company or a big country. The 215 might have a home there, and we're working on the 215 also. Again, we have 4 of those. But the reason we're here, the Douglas DC-4, the workhorse. This used to be the frontline firefighting aircraft for the whole United States when it was, I think it was the California Air Tankers, the CATs, and then Aero Union. So the DC-4, we have 6 DC-4s that could be firefighting aircraft: IQM, B&V, BAJ, CTF, BPA, and actually, believe it or not, even PSH, which actually came from Australia as, I think, Qantas Airlines, and it was the Tasmanian Tiger, I believe it was his name. I'll have to double check on that. So the DC-4 would be able to fight fire in the mainland because the DC-4 doesn't scoop water like the CL-215. The DC-4 actually goes over to a retardant tank, fills up with a hose, and then it can go and drop retardant onto the fire and draw lines, and basically draw a line around the fire. The 215 actually fights and hits the head of the fire, but that is more of how fires are being fought. Right now, we're going to be talking about the DC-4. Like I said, we have 6 DC-4s that could actually be converted full-time to firefighting and sent to Australia. But right now, let's just talk about getting 1 DC-4. What would it take to get one of the Buffalo Airways DC-4s to Australia? get the best engines, get the best tank, the best crew, put it on, fly her all the way from the pull her out of the hangar and go all the way to Australia. What will that take? Okay, everybody, before I go find Rod and Chucky to get their opinions on DC-4, first off, what do you think they're going to say? See if you know. Also, I want to tell you guys, I'm dropping a new t-shirt today. It's the PlaneSavers Corporate Safe Zone t-shirt. Check it out. Very classy. Got the PlaneSavers crest on the left, and then our warning in the back. Actually, our announcement. So anyway, that's going to be on the store. It's going to be for a limited time. Check that out. Let's head out in the hangar and see if we can film something and see if we can actually find Rod, Chucky, and my brother and see what they think. Well, Rod, what do you think?
Just going over your high-tech plan.
Yeah, that's a pretty good plan, eh?
Yeah.
Actually, I glued them on now, so they're kind of stuck.
What's this red thing?
That's the fire retardant.
Oh, and it's in tanks and they're pumping it in?
Yep. So, you just seen something on your phone there. You just checking out. That was, they have an idea to put CL-215s in boats.
Yeah, see, kind of like what we did to Korea. You get this boat, and you put your 415s and 215s in there and go to the other parts of the world after they're done their Canadian fire season.
That's, I think, a little excessive, but we'll see. So, Rod, getting back to DC-4, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, if we wanted to do one DC-4, how quickly could Buffalo Airways get a good DC-4, not like rush, but like a good serviceable one, to land in Australia to fight fire? How long would it take?
To fight fire this year?
Yeah.
In 2020?
In 2020.
Well, the biggest obstacle is it's 36 below where the DC-4 is. So other than that, it'll take about equal amount of time to get the airplane ready as it would because it's winter. So I'd say a couple of weeks for CTF out of Hay River. It's got 8 tanks. And then it's just fly to Australia. So CTF right here, one of the 6. So I picked the 6 kind of like PSH because it's kind of, you know, it's from there. But so like, where would we go here? Look at the map behind us here. We would have to, you know, like we start in Red Deer and then get to San Francisco, Hawaii, and then hopefully there's somewhere in here. Fiji. Go to Fiji.
And then we go, because the Earth's flat, I guess, then we have to go over here. Then we'd land somewhere in Australia. But once you're in this area right here, Fiji.
You can go to Papua New Guinea or New Guinea.
So that's not an issue. DC-4, lots of fuel, eh?
Yes, DC-4, 20,000 pounds in the wings. You could add a long-range tank to, yeah, DC-4 is no big deal at all.
So if money and time and manpower were no issue, do you think we could have boots on the ground in 2 months?
Yes, easy. The DC-4 is easy.
There you go. So there you go, folks. Rod, DC-4. Now let's go see what Chucky thinks. So Chucky?
Yeah.
What do you think? DC-4 to Australia.
Yeah, when's that happening?
When's the last time we were doing, was IQM dam busting, was that the last DC-4 that we were doing?
Well, that's the last time I think we've done anything with DC-4s, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think? How long, if money and crewing issues and temperature weren't an issue, how long do you think we can get a DC? How much time would it take for us to say go to having a serviceable DC-4 in Australia?
Not very long.
What do you think? What's your best guess?
You could have one within a month if you got all the props. You'd have one well within a month.
Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what Rod said.
Yeah.
If it was
Two minds think alike, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Would you go?
I'm not allowed out of the country.
Okay, so Dad, I talked to Rod and I talked to Chuck. So the question I have for you is, why would the DC-4 be perfect for Australia?
Well, the DC-4 is perfect anywhere there's fuel. That is the best platform for putting retard on a fire. Because of the lay of their land and their fuel, their timber, the DC-4 would be an excellent tanker for them with that. You know, it's got that 8-door air union tank, which puts the load right through the canopy. It doesn't, the load doesn't lay on top of the canopy, it goes right through it. The canopy being the top of your trees. Well, if we had all the go-aheads in the perfect world, getting the airplanes ready, a lot would depend on my brother Ronnie. You guys call him Uncle Ronnie, and Rod, and you know, you got to get the boys here that have all the expertise on it, and that's the timing. It's them getting the airplane ready. Getting it over there is no problem. So yes, in all our experience and all our study and all our history, the 8-door tank of air unit on a DC-4 is the best you can get. That's right up there with the best.
No matter what, folks, PlaneSavers started with just a simple YouTube video, and this today was a simple YouTube video, and maybe we can do something, maybe we can make a difference. I look forward to trying.